How you doing, everybody? Hello, hi. Welcome to my humble abode. No, I just wanted to talk about something that is true, that's allowed to be prophesied, and you should tell everybody you know about it. The reason why, well, let me just explain the reason why it's not time to torture people as far as what Christ was saying, as far as the devil, is because his life is in everybody. Even those murderers in jail have his life in them, and so they should be put to death immediately since they killed. They don't need to have any life, and that sends them into the future basically, since time doesn't exist when you're dead. And Christ is bringing a long chain of genes because these genes were the sinners who didn't know what I'm telling you right now, even. And there'll be a lot of people who don't get in heaven. I have to tell you that because on the day of the first sin, they became evil and good both, and it was their choice, and you have free will. But the point is that it's not time to torture even the murderers and the torturers yet, because when they're raised from death with the genes and the earth and the great raising, then the life is the tree of life instead of Christ, which is the life. And the tree of life is what he took away from them so his purpose would be done, so that they didn't live forever, or else it would be too crowded and his plan wouldn't have worked. Plus, it wasn't right for the earth, which didn't ask to be born or risen in the first place, to have to be tortured any more than necessary. And the short life after the first sin, that's 120 years. If somebody lived 130, then they didn't sin for their first 10 years in life, which doesn't make them any less or more sinful than you or me. But what I'm telling you makes me less sinful because I can change and I know what to change. And the Bible's not there as a tool to hurt people or attack people. And I'm not trying to do Jesus' job. He could have told you all these things on his own if he wanted. But I just thought I would share it because you do have to witness and you have to see that nobody wants you when you're the Word. When you tell the truth, you're not wanted. But that's the whole point of this whole place and why bad things happen. I mean, it's obvious. So I'm just having you open the book so you can invite God, the real one, not the ones these lunatics on television and stuff tell you about. They're all false. They need money to do what they do, and most of them on TV do it for money, and they're liars, and they're not getting in. They'll be raised like the rest, and then when Christ is not in them, like he's in me and everybody, which is not your feelings or emotions either, or your highs or lows. Jesus is just the life, which is pure. It'll be taken one day, and then there'll be gnashing of teeth because Satan, who is the devil, Satan is the name of people who don't understand what Christ meant, who can't open their eyes and see that there's business people making themselves rich off of people that are slaves, basically. They own a business and they don't even go to work themselves. But it's about more than saving this life. I'm not here to preach to you about you're going to hell if you don't change, so don't do this or that, or else you won't have a good job or you won't own a business. Because they're just trying to save their own asses and their own children. And if you don't listen, that's fine. You have a right to that. This is your country. It's not mine. I don't want any part of it, really. But I happen to live here, and I happen to have a right to also express my opinion. And I'm not a preacher that's going to talk about the end of time because that's just only the devil, the evil one, and everybody wants to know that. And if they go there for that, they'll be lost in it and they'll not understand what it says. So when somebody murders, the life of Jesus doesn't want to be in them. They should be painlessly put to death because then they're immediately risen and basically in lake fire forever and ever because they are the devil in the flesh, called Satan.